I'm up. Yeah, I'm up. Hi guys. Let me if audio okay. That's fine. Oh yeah. Hey guys. Hi there on the YouTube chat as well. Yeah. Playing an otome game today. I played this game before, years ago. I just haven't finished all the routes yet. But here we are. I'll try to do the third route that I can do. So out.
BARRICADE new stage.
And I think I have to do a new game. No. Want to use the default one. Yeah, there you go. Yes. I may skip few previously viewed scenes on the command board. Do you want to start a new game with the time to choose? Oh. So apparently I can skip. I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, apparently I have to the common route. Arya, hi there in the YouTube chat. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to click on that, but anyway, there.
ため息つくと幸せが逃げちゃうんですよ。
いや、姫のご機嫌を損ねてしまってね。どう挽回すべきか悩んでいたんだよ。
I guess I can try out the audio volume.
すごくイライラしてましたよね。
リベンジのつもりで書いたケチャップのメッセージが気に入らなかったんだろうか。
なんて書いたんです？
Kiss me, baby。
はいアウト。もうわざとやってるとしか思えない完璧な気持ち悪さです。
I'm Grace. Hi. You for the raid. How was 14 on your end?
見てクスッと笑ってもらえたらと。
Isn't it is there no maintenance today? Because I know it's 7.56 later on. But 14 was good, the PvP established criteria. Oh, I see. Up daily redeem.
彼女の機嫌が悪い時に当たるとは間が悪かった。なんだい？
もしかして。いや、だって一夜さんいっぱい叱られてるのに全然やめないじゃないですか。だから俺思ったんですよ。
何を俺がしている
でもそれでまた叱らだってよく
それは
Alright, I think I remember this now.
ほら
I remember we have two masochists here.
一夜さんも一緒。
それは当然だろう。いやいやい
一夜さん自分を偽るのはおしまいです。さあ俺と一緒に考えましょう。
俺を巻き込むのはや。
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to try the audio, but here we are, guys.
愛のメッセージ
Okay.
受け取ってくれたかな。
ラビはなかなか優
I,
秀
I
な
want
日
to go
程
to
で
the
す。
どうした
board.
ミスか何何
Okay, there. Yeah. Hey, I'm playing an otome game. I played this before. I'm just doing the third route I have not done yet. So here we are. Time to choose.
ひばり様、失礼いたします。
Oh, they actually say the default name.
は
Okay.
いは
Cool.
い、もう寝る時間よね。わかっ
Also,
てるから
yes, the MC is voiced. So, I barely have to read. Oh no, the sax is back. Hey, Batato, yeah. Going for the other guy's route though. Shion. The guy with yellow hair, not this one.
そうではなくて、
Not the butler.
いえ、それもあるのですが、
Yeah. Okay, I don't have to read as much. I only need to read some dialogues which are just not voiced, so I barely remembered them at this point. Yeah. No, this was strange. Kasuga wasn't really so hesitant. I looked at him curiously. He's straight and possibly pulling himself together.
明日のご予定なのですが、学校が終わり次第、鎌
This
倉
is
に向かい
actually
ます。
perfect because yeah, the
オーラン
MC
の
is
人からお
voiced.
話があるとのことです。
I just need to read the narration stuff. I wanna go.
必ず来るよ。
Also, I chose the default name because I wanted to see if they're actually voicing the default name for the MC. And they do. It was like he'd read my mind. Hide. Couldn't ignore him. Knew that. When that meddling old crew summoned me, I had only one choice. Go.
よろしいですね。
わかったわよ。
Kasuga reiterated news. I reluctantly agreed. Oh, the next day after school.
ひばり様、
Ah,
よろ
there's
しければ
Sumugi.
この後お茶でも。行きたい。でも行けない。鎌倉に行かなくちゃいけないから。
I made no effort to hide my disgust. Sumugi
鎌倉
grimaced.
ということはおじい様に会いに。話があるとかなんとか。いつもいきなりなんだから。お話ですの？ええ、どうせまたくだ
Ah,
らない。
wife.
花婿候補が増えるお話とか。ちょっとやめてよ。
Oh god. Just thoughts sent chills down my spine. Sumugi looked me in the eye and saw the fear there. With the utmost seriousness,
世
she
の中
said,
には追加戦士という言葉がありますのよ。
additional party members? I had no idea what Sumugi meant by that, but I already knew I didn't like the metaphor.
「学校お疲れ様でした。さあ、お早く車へ。
ええ。
Kasuga was waiting for me as I stepped school gates. He ushered me into the car and we left. What in the world does that vulture want to talk about? Well, the closer we got to Kamakura, the faster my heart beat up.
お帰りなさいませ、ひばり様。
ただいま。
大旦那様はどちらに？
お部屋にいらっしゃいますが、今はお客様とお話し中でして。
Oh, hey Spencer. Thanks for the lurk.
そうですか。ひばり様、少々お待ちいただけますか？
ええ。
He answered Kasuga distractedly. My mind was already churning with a new
久
possibility.
しぶりにすみこさんに会え
Have
る
a
かし
cheer
ら。
station. Do have a lovely afternoon. Thank you. I made a point of sounding hesitant. Kasuga smiled, but it was awkward.
では、私が確認してきますよ。離れでお待ちになりますか？
そうね。いえ、中庭で待ってる。
かしこまりました。
では。
Both bowed politely and left. I turned my steps towards the garden. So quiet. When I lived here not long ago, I never noticed the peace. The only sounds that surrounded me were then the rush of the breeze, the songs of birds, and the hiss of rain. That was it, really. I heard the sounds of laughter coming from the main house. I butterflies in my. The silence had refuge. Now, after living in that vacation home, something missing. Unconsciously, I stopped to think. That's when I heard footsteps approaching me from.
ご当主様、ご当主様。
Was someone looking for father? Servant then, but servant seemed formal.
ご当主ってひばり様。これは失礼しました。もうおいでだったとは。
Oh, right. This is Nayuta's uncle. If he knew my name, that meant he was likely a servant or an employee of some Ojo business or another. It wasn't unusual for people around the mansion to know who I was, even if I didn't know them at
お
all.
じい様を探してるんですか？
ええ。ひばり様が到着されてるとは思いませんで、お恥ずかしいところ。
それは構いませんけど、祖父は来客の対応中だとか。
そんな予定聞かされてませんね。あのお方も困ったもんだ。
And father, a handful? Never dreamed anyone would dare to describe him as such. Is he really one of our
お
employees?
名前を伺っても？
ああ、これは失礼しました。俺はご当主の身辺警護担当のやんごとないっすね、ひばり様は。うん、やんごとない。
Yeah, if he said his name, she'll know that he's related to Nayuta. Okay, now he's really suspicious.
お名前は？
いや、私の名なんて。
いえいえ、ぜひとも。
You're not gonna weasel. You're not going to weasel your way out of this.
何をしとる、小次郎。
Deep voice rang out. I reflexively suppressed the start. My eyes started to slide. Where's the old man? Behind him, Kasuga walked at a respectful distance. I suspect that grandfather found him before he had the chance to find Sumiko for me. I straightened and greeted him with my usual glare. The suspicious man, however, casually strolled right up to him.
ご当主様、助かりましたよ。すっかり怪しまれちまって。警護人が連行なんて笑えませんや。
Damn.
まったくそういうとこじゃろうて。もうちょいビシッとせんか。
いや、非番の時くらい気抜かせてくださいよ。
お前はいつだって抜けすぎじゃ。
odd. Grandfather and the man were talking to each other in a totally casual tone. That villain loved nothing more than to make people dance to his tune, and here he was chatting candidly. Must trust this man considerably. Still, it was hard to believe this laid-back man was a professional security. Grandfather saw the suspicion in my gaze and gave a little sigh.
こやつがわしの警護担当なのは事実じゃ。
Hey, Hyaku.
信じられんのもわかるがの。
すぐにお名前を教えていただければ、私も勘ぐったりはしませんでしたのに。
いやー、ひばり様があんまりにもお綺麗なんで、40近いおじさんが恥ずかしくて。
Can't keep his eyes down.
私はご当主にご注文の5番が届いたってのをお伝えに来ただけですんで、これで失礼いたします。
ええ。
The man quickly walked away towards the back gardens, like he was trying to slip away from my suspicions. Something about him bugs me.
なんじゃその顔は。
随分と仲がよろしいようでしたので。
I deliberately took a side tone, but it bounced off him. Fixed me with an amused smile.
小娘もあの花婿候補たちに囲まれて少しは成長しとるわけか。
はあ？
奴らに会う前はわしのそばにいる人間のことなど目にも入らなかったじゃろう。
それは。
Bit my lip and no more words escaped. My silence wasn't lost on grandfather. Even an amused chuckle.
心当たりがありそうじゃのう。
別に彼らは関係ありません。
I gritted my teeth, but Kasuga stepped forward and cut off any reply I might have.
オーダー様、そろそろ。
わかった。
Cheerful look on grandfather's face vanished and was replaced by deep furrows between his brows.
母屋へ来なさい。
Grandfather and I sat in the silent reception room facing each other. Kasuga stood discreetly in the corner. Normally, he would set out tea for the both of us, then promptly step out. Today, grandfather explicitly told him to remain in the room.
花婿候補たちとの生活はどう？
どうだと言われても、相変わらず彼らはめちゃくちゃで。
今すぐ一人を選べと言われたら誰？
は？
He's making fun of me again. I readied a scathing retort, but then stopped. He's serious. There was no playful glint in grandfather's eye. He was asking for my honest
お
opinion.
前は誰を選ぶ？
Grandfather asked. Couldn't find my voice. Didn't have an answer for him. Not yet. I still had a long time before I had to make the final decision. Part of me had expected that when the time came, the answer would present itself to me. I had no reason to believe it would, but it
期
did.
限があるなんて聞いてません。
ああ、わしもそのつもりじゃった。だが、条
Grandfather seemingly noticed my confusion. He sighed heavily and began to
花
explain.
婿候補を選んだのは文家連中がお前に早く婚約者をと騒ぎ立てたのがきっかけじゃ。
That makes sense. Asuka told me as much my first night at the vacation house. My relatives had started it, dragging out my father's elopement as an excuse to marry me off. I was angry, yes, but At that, I was disappointed.
だがそれはごまかしでな。
ごまかし？
分家の筆頭を務める当主が事業に失敗して大損害を出したらしい。それだけならば良いものを。問題はわしに報告せず隠蔽を図ったことじゃ。その時ひばり、お前との結婚じゃ。だが当のお前は縁談をすべて拒否。要求に応えられないと焦った分家は早急に婿を決めろと騒ぎ立てた。
I think I remember you picking the redhead here and he was listening to the conversation. Yeah, that was my first choice. Drag out my parents' fiasco was as an excuse. They'd said so many hurtful things, taken advantage of so many people. Now they were just run them all.
その通り。奴の挙動不審が過ぎるので調査してみればこのありさま。内緒。
The expression on grandfather's face was the sternest I'd ever seen him wear. Confused, I glanced at Kasuga. He nodded in affirmation and explained things
ごま
further.
かしに騙されているとはいえ、分家ご当主に賛同し、婚約をせく声が一定数上がっているのも事実です。今回の要求を拒否したとしても、彼らはすぐに別の花婿候補を用意して騒ぎ出すことでしょう。それを防ぐための策として、大旦那様は花婿候補の皆様を自ら選出し、その策で分家ご当主方々の動きを抑制しているのが現状です。
What an utter mess. But that isn't what surprised me the most. The biggest shock was that the suitors had been thrust into my life as a means to protect. Father truly do.
でもどうしてあの4人を？まさか分家が押し付けてきた相手って？
I asked hesitantly. Grandfather shook his
そ
head.
の名跡の高学歴で有能なエリート。大企業の後継ぎで20代と年齢も若い。家柄自体は一代で成長した成金じゃが、上場を果たしてからは飛ぶ鳥を落とす勢い。
Sounds like he'd be a perfect match for the heir of the Tojo family. Faces of my four suitors formed in my mind. An unbearably cheesy marriage fraudster, an insufferably smug gambling addict, a man who lived in his own world, a walking debt generator who's more dog than man. The description's them. But if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Which means this seemingly perfect person must have some kind of unspeakable
もし
secret.
かして極悪非道で性格最悪とか？それか人に知られたらも大事のような趣味がある？いや、女遊びが激しい可能性も。
Maybe this, maybe that. Grandfather grimaced at all my mumbling.
まあ待て。そういうことはわしの方でも調べておる。
え？
ああいう男は成功する。わし個人としては嫌いではない。
じゃあ
The last thing I wanted was to be married off as part of a cleanup effort. This mess. But this was someone grandfather personally endorsed. Our union would mean a bright future for the Tojo family. Would grandfather dismiss a seemingly perfect match in favor of our four louts? That wasn't the only thing that bothered me. I steeled myself and asked the question, gnawing at money.
私が持っていなくて彼らが持っているものが分かりません。それは分家の進める好条件の相手よりも 優れたものなんですか？彼らの、もしそうでないなら、彼らは分家の目をごまかすための当て馬ですか？彼らとの生活はただの茶番なんですか？そんなの。
I blinked and snapped my mouth shut. It's not fair to them. Strange. Why would I even think that? Who cares what happens to them? The thought of actually marrying any of them made me cautious. They were loud, obnoxious, tactless. They were brilliantly talented at getting under my skin. Yet, quieted my thoughts, straightening up, and looked grandfather in the eye.
私をバカにしてます。
I listened full grandfather, and surprisingly, grinned.
心配せずとも当て馬などと思っておらん。奴らは全員お前の結婚相手にふさわしい正当な花婿候補じゃ。でなければこんな小娘と血気盛んな男どもを同居させるわけなかろうが。いくら監視付きと言ってもな。
Chaperone. I glanced over at Kasuga, and he nodded in
それ
affirmation.
に好条件だけに食いつかんのはお前の問題もあるからの。以前のお前であれば東条家の一人娘という立場に気を取られ相手が跡継ぎにふさわしいか有能かだけを考えておった。だがそれは結婚生活というものに実感を持っておらんかったからじゃ。共に生活することや恋愛について考えた今、好条件だけを理由に結婚相手を選ぶのは難しいとは思わぬか。
I had no answer for that. Wilshire was right. I had started giving much more thought to marriage since the suitors arrived. Initially, I'd rather have jumped off a cliff than marry any of them, but the more time we spent together, the more I realized they could be kind and decent too. I'd like to choose one as a lover. Marry one of them. Actually think on it now.
まだ誰かを選ぶような段階じゃ。
その段階になったのじゃ。
Grandfather cut me off. Stern expression on his face, halting my words before they could
わし
form.
が花婿候補を挙げたと分家当主から聞いたその男が直談判しに来た。すでに相手を選んでいるなら諦めもつく。だがそうでないなら自分にも機会を与えてくれと。その機会を作ることで東条家が得られる利益までプレゼンしよったわ。クリスマスパーティーで婚約発表をして話題を集め収益を上げていくなど、どこまでも貪欲な男じゃわい。
Father must have been thinking about their meeting because his lips curled up in a wry smile. But the next instant, his face hardened, became stern once more as he continued
や
talking.
つは間違いなく好物件じゃ。東条家跡継ぎにもふさわしい。だが求めるものはお前ではない。奴が求めているのは東条の一人娘。
So he wanted the name, status, the wealth. I'd long ago steeled myself for the likelihood that my eventual husband would marry me for the title. I'd resigned myself to that even before I met my suitors. And yet I felt weight on my heart. It was as if in the time I spent living with them, that old stereotype got buried in the corner of my mind. This meeting served as a painful reminder.
奴と結婚すれば花婿候補との今のような生活はおそらく望めんだろ 何よりも仕事を優先する男じゃからな。お前がそれでもいいと自分の意志で奴を選ぶならわしも当面好いた相手と一緒になりたい。そういう思いが少しでもあるのなら今選択せねば手遅れになる。好条件の相手を断りわしが勧める無子候補も選ばない。それでは後を継ぐ気がないと言われても仕方がない。わしも勧めた候補を断られたとなればかばってやることも難しくなる。お前が好いた相手を連れてくるならそれも良いとも思っておった。だがその可能性も皆無じゃろうて。
Utterly incapable. Couldn't deny it. Hey, pray the fools. Barely even given thought to the idea until very recently. Well, told myself that I would find an appropriate partner at the appropriate time. That's all. When I stayed silent, grandfather turned to look over at Kasuga. She remained quiet, looking over the dice. Grandfather turned back to me and spoke sharply.
東条を継ぐ気がないのなら父親のように駆け落ちでも家出でもして離れればいい。お前の意志なら止めはせん。
He is giving us a lot of choices, so that's
違
something.
うのであれば今決めなさい。
I had to make a decision. I had to choose. I considered grandfather's words when I suddenly recalled something else that I told. It was when met shortly after I'd been subjected to Suitor's initial torrent of
選ぶ余地があるうちに動け。それができぬならば受け入れよ。わしが言いたいのはそういうことじゃ。
exactly what he had warned me about that. If I didn't choose one of my tutors, I would have to accept a partner who someone else presented. Once I made a decision, there was no turning back. It was the point of no return. Felt like I was being crushed under the weight of the decision. Desperate for help, I looked at Kasuga.
春日だったら
春日に頼るな。いくら信頼していても春日は一介の執事。人生の選択を任せる相手ではない。間違えるなよ、ひばり。
Grandfather glared over at Kasuga, who could do nothing but send me a pained glance and bow in acquiescence. He's right. It's just Kasuga either. Should ask anyone for advice on this. I mustn't. If I did, I'd be making them responsible for my life. Make this decision for myself. I had to choose the right one, the man who everyone would accept as a good match for the year.
ひばりさん。
お嬢。
ひばりちゃん。
ひばりさん。
もし花婿候補から一人選んだとして分家がそれを認めないということはないんですか？
There's also grandfather's audit on these. Well, was not flattering in the least. In fact, the suitor they were posing seemed stellar compared to their rash themselves. Grandfather must have scented my concern because he did not sound the least bit worried.
確かに奴らの条件は一 般的に見れば悪い。だがそんなことよりあの4人が持つ資質はお前にとって価値がある。
Wonder what quality Shion will have.
分家がうるさく騒ぎ立てたとて、それぐらいわしが黙らせてやる。
Qualities they have. Things they have that I don't.
ここに及んでもそれが何かは教えていただけないのですか？
言わぬことがあやつらとの約束じゃ。それに肩書きや家柄など余計なものを抜きにして一人の人間をじっくり見るのはだ。あやつらの資質については深い仲になれば自然とわかる。
Up to me. What will I feel once I truly knew all that there was to know about them? Couldn't even imagine. But a part of me was at least a tiny bit
今
curious.
ここで一人を選んだとして、私の結婚相手はそれで本当に決定。
まあわしはそれでもかも。
All of a sudden, grandfather
お
smirked.
前がまだあやつらを理解し始めた段階というのは、今回の目的はお前に婿候補から一人を選ぶ意思があると示すこと。ただし最善の結婚相手を選定するため他の候補者たちも残し
Yeah, that is
公
just
正
fair.
なる
Yeah.
審査を重ねに重ねた上でくらいに言っておけば疑り深いやつらもなんも言えんじゃろ。
This old man.
あ？
あ？
つまり見合いから逃げるための口実と時間稼ぎじゃ。今選んだやつを後々嫌いになってもそれはそれじゃな。
Grandfather's laughter rang out through the room. Cheerful. He laughed.
今までの重苦しさは何ですか？
おお、怒りっぽいのう。せっかくわしが迫真の演技で今の危機的状況を教えてやったというのに、しかも今回は逃げ道まで特別サービスで作ってやったのにの。
Performance? Special favor?
それにこれはお前の鈍感な乙女
I forgot how much of a troll he was. Yeah, our MC tells us how much of a villain he is. But then we see this, I'm like, your grandfather's just worried about you. He's just not being honest. He just wants the best for you, but yeah, he's not, you know, just not honest.
価格を聞いておるとお前とあやつらはまるで時間を持て余した友達同士じゃろ。いや、親戚の兄ちゃん扱いか。
MC getting rage bait left and right.
もっとこう結婚相手というか恋愛対象として見られるかが重要じゃというに。はあ、まったく。だがまあ今回一人を選べば恋愛対象として嫌でも考えるようになるじゃろ。わしグッジョブじゃな。
Grandfather nodded, looking entirely too self-satisfied. I felt a vein by my temple begin to throb.
春日、
はい。
いつもどんな報告を？
ありのままを。
Betrayer. I stared at Kasuga furiously. Grandfather, however, was growing impatient. He smirked at me.
おれ、早く仮の花婿を
Temporary
決めんか。
boyfriend.
おれ、おれ、おれ。
ちょっと待ってください。
こういうのはフィーリングじゃからな。思いついたやつの名前を言えばいいんじゃ。
I thought Spawn, the first face I saw in the storm was... Well, we already went with Taiga and Nayota. Going with Shion. We're leaving Ichiya for last.
散々な目にはあったけど、ひばりちゃんが楽しそうだったし、思ったよりも君に愛されてるってことが分かったから、結果的に良かったかなって。
Ah, him. Yeah. The very pretty man over there.
シオンさん、
ほう。
Cat.
全然話も通じないし
He hates cats
動
though.
かないし困った人だけど、あの4人の中じゃ一番害がないから、それで。
He's the most harmless. Are you sure about that? I remembered him as a cat for some reason. I think it's because how close he gets to MC at some point. Like he's clingy. Grandfather watched clearly amused as I mumbled my hasty reasoning. After a moment, he silently believed. Eh?
では、そのように分家筋には伝えておく。
かしこまりました。
The screens closed and grandfather's steps faded. Once I could no longer hear them, I sighed as all my strength deflated from me in a rush. But at the same time, an indescribable feeling danced along my nerves and swept up through my body.
もうなんなのよ。
Driving me into a corner like that, like I was a game piece. Kazuga grimaced, looking up to me as I groaned in frustration.
お疲れ様でした。お茶を入れ直しましょうか。
それより風に当たりたい。
Fair? That is so fair, though. Up back in the garden.
疲れたわ。
緊迫した状況でいろいろと聞かされましたから、混乱なさっていましたね。
それももちろんあるけど、でもそれだけじゃなくて。
大旦那様の行動ですか。
I nodded, saying nothing. Also, the saxophone. He's not even here. Why is the saxophone playing? What the fuck? What grandfather told me sat strangely with me, shielding me from branch family's machinations, respecting my opinion and my choices. Given the way grandfather had acted around me before, it was hard to imagine he was still the bullshit I knew. Girl, he's worried about you, he's just not telling you. He had always viewed me as a Tojo family heir, only never as myself. You're sure? If I did not behave as a proper heir, I held no value for him. According to whispers and rumors, at least. Why did you listen to those? That only spurred me to work harder. Told myself I was going to show him up. Make him respect me.
婿候補たちのことだって何か企みがあるとは思ってたけど。
But the fact he chose them to
これ
protect
じ
me.
ゃあまるで孫を可愛がる祖父じゃない？
I think he has always been a doting grandfather. Based on the other endings we've seen already, he's always has been. He's just not the honest kind of grandfather.
もうクソじじいのくせにどういうことよ。
I glared at Kasuga. Miffed at the part he played. He said nothing, pointedly not looking in my direction.
春日だっておじい様が私のことを跡取りとしか思ってないって知ってるでしょ。見返そうって励ましてくれたのは春日だものね。なのにどうして。
ひばり様、人の真意はどんなに推し量ったところで本人にしかわかりません。それより今はもっと考えるべき問題があるはずです。
そうね。クソじじいの腹の内なんて考えたって仕方ないわ。今はこれからのことを考えなくちゃ。とはいえ婚約者を選んだわけだし。
ええ、そのことについてなんですが、まず一つ目は仮の婚約者を決めたの
Yeah,
は
keep it a secret.
穴婿候補の皆様にはご内密に、選ばれなかった方々が早々に切り上げて別邸を出ていく可能性が高いので、ひばり様が心移りされないとも限りませんから、他の方々もキープされておいた方がよろしいかと。
心移りとかキープとか。
事実ですので。それからもう一つ、危うい状況に置かれてる今、男性関係には細心の注意が必要です。
Oh.
分家がどこで見張っているともしれません。
Mm.
ですから、通りすがりの男とカフェに入るような行動は問題外です。
Kasuga's warning was disturbingly detailed. I felt a cold bead of sweat drip down my
何
spine.
の話？
Really, girl? Girl?
カズと名乗る男のことですよ。
Girl. I've been found out. What? How? The only person I told about him was Alimura, and she built an alibi for him. I never mentioned his name with her. Somehow.
そんなに驚かれるとは、
Yep.
私も見くびられたものですね。ですが、私も驚かされましたよ。まさか、私に隠し事をするなんて。
Kasuga's voice was quiet, his face expressionless. It was livid. His gaze was so cold. I had to suppress a shiver. Desperately, I tried to make my trembling lips move.
あのね、事情があって、それにカズさんはすごくいい人。
人柄は問題ではありません。問題なのは、花婿候補ではない男と密会しているという事実。もし分家にそのことを知られれば、必ず隙をつかれます。大旦那様の行いがすべて無になることをお忘れなく、よろしいですね。
Alright, he had some yandere vibes. Yeah, he kinda does. Yeah, the butler kinda... He kinda gets scary at the time. Also was the first person I'd ever met who was so easy to talk to.
彼には二度と会わないでください。それと、ウィスの ID も今、私の目の前で削除してください。
ウィスまで？
あなたのためです。どうかご理解を。
わかった。でもお願い、ID を消すま。
Oh. Before I could finish my sentence, Kasuga tugged my phone out of my hands and... Beep.
どうぞ。
Up. Contact deleted.
諦めが肝心です。
Yeah, girl.
そんな、いきなり連絡を断ち切るなんて失礼すぎるじゃない。
You've given me so much advice on so many things. And he treated me the pancakes too. Really, girl? Really, the pancakes did it? Really? I hadn't done anything at all for him in return.
このご時世、SNS の寂しいつながりが途切れることはよくありますよ。安心して元気を出してください。
他人事みたいに言わないでよ。
大丈夫ですよ。連絡がつかなくなれば相手も諦めます。そろそろ帰りましょう。早くしないと彼らが騒ぎを起こしますよ。
Them causing a fuss. That wasn't a threat anymore. Thoroughly depressed, I plotted after Katsuka. But right now, I did need to focus on them most of all. Him. Still myself, determined to see him for who he is. I would think on everything for myself. Certainly had no shortage of questions to ponder. Yeah, I think we're going for here. Heroin loss. Okay, so Shion's board is now open. I think these are already clear, so I have to actually move to Shion's route now. Okay. Okay then. Up. Let's go. It had been one day since that shocking event. It was a day like any other day. Thoughts ran through my head as I changed into my uniform and did my hair. For now, I've chosen a professional, albeit tentative fiancé. I wonder why I thought of Shion at that time.
ひばりちゃんが東条家令嬢としての立場を気にしているのは分かった。でもプライベートの時ぐらいはもう少し冒険してみてもいいんじゃないかな。新しい自分を見つけられるかもしれないよ。誰がどう思うかなんて気にしないで、今は君だけの世界に集中して。君はそこに何を思い描く？僕にも教えて。
I'm glad they actually give a little bit of a flashback. Especially if you skipped. Like you skipped the common route. So that you can get here real quick.
一人で過ごしていて穏やかで自由な気持ちになれた？
This game is long. Especially the common route. It's say what you like. The acceptance Shion showed me still lingered in my heart. If only I could act more freely like he said. Perhaps Shion subconsciously came to mind because I found him so. But I still don't think there were too many things about his way of living that just make sense to me.
わからないから知りたい。そういうことなのかも。
It could be. Grandfather also said that I should take the opportunity to look at him close. For now, I'll make more of an effort to get to know him better.
ひばり様、お着替えはお済みですか？
今行くわ。
After giving a short reply, I left my rush. Nayata?
なゆたくん、どうしたの？
ああ、ひばりさん。実はシオンさんがまだ起きてこないんですよ。今日は早起きしたいって言ってたのに。
なら起こしてあげればいいんじゃないの？
え？それはちょっと。
どうして？
だってシオンさん、寝起きが最悪で、前に起こしてあげた時なんてもう死ぬかと思ったんですから。
What an exaggeration. Nayata's hyperbole startled me. Glanced at my watch. Guess I still have a little time before
だったら
school.
私が起こしてくるわ。
でも
Girl was like, how worse could it
大
be?
丈夫。私ならそこまでひどい態度は取られないはずだから。
Besides, I kind of want to see how bad Shion is when he picks up.
ひばりさん、そんな危険です。ひばりさん。
I kind of forgot how good the voice on this one is. I headed to the second floor, ignoring Nayata's anxious protestations.
シオンさん、ひばりです。起きてる？シオンさん。
I knocked gently on its door, but there was no response. Must be really asleep then. Guess I'm doing this, girl. Oh. Ian was asleep in his bed. Comforter covered his head, but I could hear him breathing regularly as he soundly.
シオンさん。
Man, it's a heavy sleeper, I see.
シオンさん、もう朝よ。予定があるんじゃないの？
Stood by a door and called out to him, but didn't even stir. Didn't look like I'll wake him up this way. Oh boy. I walked over to the side of the bed next.
シオンさん、起きて。
I shook him gently, and he began to stir from underneath the comforter.
シオンさん、目が覚めた？
あれ、ひばりちゃん？
Shion started to get up, looking groggy. Huh? The moment his eyes met mine, he quickly wrapped himself in the comforter again. Eh? What's happening? Seriously ignoring me?
ちょっと。シオンさん、何してるの？早く起きないと。
なんでひばりちゃんがここにいるの？
なゆたくんの代わりに起こしに来たの。あなたが今日用事があるって言うから。
ああ、なるほど。わかった。もう起きたから大丈夫だよ。先に下に行ってて。
I don't know. I've seen this before. Claims he's up, but then just stays wrapped up in the covers. He's going to fall back asleep. I knew how enticing a warm bed could be. That's exactly why I couldn't leave him alone. Especially because he had things to
シオ
do.
ンさん、今すぐベッドから起きて。
ごめん。それはちょっと。
Why?
それは
Yeah, he's totally going to fall back asleep. Driven by that thought, I reached the comforter. You have an ad break. Oh boy. I have an ad break. I'm gonna wait for that before I could. Okay, ad break is done. Okay, let's continue.
いいから早く起きて。布団から出てきて。
ちゃんと起きてるから大丈夫だからそっと。
なんでそんなに。
ひばりちゃんこそ乱暴だよ。
Actually, yeah. The more I pulled on the comforter, the tighter Shion wound it around himself like a shell. It's like he's obsessed with falling back asleep. Finally gave in and let go of the covers, and Shion curled back up out of breath.
どうしてそんなに起きたくないの。ねえ、シオンさん。
だって髪も爪も整えてない。
は？
顔だって洗ってないんだよ。
How was a princess? I think it's more than one. What the fuck?
わかったわ。じゃあ支度が終わったら降りてきて。私は先に行ってるから。まったくもう。
I didn't expect Shion to act like that. He shouted and got all panicky when I made him go to the cat cafe too. It's actually kind of cute. Girl.
ひばりさん、シオンさんどうでしたか。ちゃんと起きられました。
Yeah, I woke up.
ええ、大丈夫よ。そのうち降りてくると思う。
え？それじゃあシオンさんと普通に話せたんですか。
Mm-hmm.
ええ。
Oh. Also, good luck, Nayota. You did mention you were the one who asked her to wake him up.
何もされませんでした。
大丈夫だったけど。
Hey, Mikey.
奇跡だ。俺見てきます。
Oh, good luck, Nayota. Ayaka Kitty, hi there, the YouTube chat. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Up there he goes. I wonder what Nayata's previous experience was. Aww. As I was getting ready to leave for school after breakfast, Ichi's bad timing struck again. Oh, 18. How was 7? How was FF7? Was great. I did good at the rhythm minigame and saw a dog moonwalk. Oh wow. That's cool. Yeah, thanks for the raid. We're playing variable barricade. It's that. Alright, Potato, it's our yeah. This game looks familiar. I played this before. When we were hanging out with Aya before. I didn't recognize him without the sign. It's not playing, yeah.
俺をここまで苦しめることができるのも救うことができるのも君しかいない。
Sir, please.
だから
Please, cease.
言って
Cease.
キスを。
行ってきます。さようなら。
照れ屋だね。
He's so cheesy. Oh shit, I forgot. He is. I'm like cringing. Gotta admire his moxie.
ひばりちゃん、もう行っちゃうの？
Turned around and heard the reluctance in Shion's voice. Was just coming down from the
早川
stairs.
君はそっちに行ったと思うんだけど。
Oh,
さあ、多分その辺で沈んでると思うよ。
I was 7, Naita. I was 7.
ああ、なゆた。かわいそう。
Showing sympathy, Ichiya pressed his hands together as if in prayer. What happened? Automatic furrowed my brow, while Shion gave me an easy smile.
もう学校に行く時間？
ええ。
そっか。今日はあんまりお話できなくて残念だな。
I looked at Shion intently. It seemed sad to see him go. He certainly had put himself together perfectly from head to toe. Quite unlike earlier this morning. Probably worked really hard to get himself ready. Is completely different from the person who was clinging to the covers earlier.
ひばりちゃん、なんで笑ってるの？
別に。
He must have realized what I was laughing at, and he frowned as if bothered.
いいか。もういつもの綺麗な僕に戻ったから。いいよ。
何が？
行ってらっしゃいのキスとか。さっきはベッドの上であんなに求めてくれたから。
I don't think that was good then. My cheeks instantly flushed bright red because of his ludicrous remark.
ちょっと誤解を招くようなこと言わないで。
ひばりさん、待ってくれ。俺の時と何か反応が違う気が。
違わない。とにかくもう行くから。
行ってらっしゃい。
ひばり様、
何？
頬が真っ赤になっておりますが。
You know what was happening? I instantly put my hands on my cheeks. They burned as if I had a fever.
なんでもないの。朝からちょっとバタバタ
Thanks,
して
Kasuga.
疲れただけ。
さようですか。
Her, you know what was happening. Thus far, Shion's many patrons had assisted him in his life. Wonder if that's how he's talked to his patrons up till now.
僕を選んでくれたらずっと寂しい思いはしなくて済むのに。構ってほしい時にはいつでも呼んで。君の気が済むまでずっとそばにいてあげる。今とそんなに大きくは変わらないけど、必要とされた時に相手が望むものを叶えてあげていた。一緒に出かけたり、ご飯を食べたり、趣味に付き合ったり。
虚しくならない？
どうして？楽しかったし、 充実してたよ。まあそんなわけだから、ひばりちゃん、こういうことがまた起きても僕のことは心配しなくて大丈夫だから。
何それ。
ん？今の僕は君のものだよ。だから君を優先するのは当たり前でしょ。どこに連れ出されたってちゃんと君のもとへ帰ってくる。それは絶対ね。安心でしょ。
He's just looking for a new patron. And is that person me? Even if that's the case, not looking for a man I need to take care of. That was the only thing I had to make absolutely clear. Okay, we have 3 over here. I guess I'll just go from top to bottom from this. The sense of support. Everyone's worried about how busy I am, but Shion acts differently. His concern touches me. Okay. The school day ended without any significant incidents. Casually chatted with Tsumugi as our classmates left to go home. Just then, a teacher entered the classroom and walked up to me. I believe she was the English study group's advisor.
何でしょうか。
東條さんに折り入ってお願いしたいことがあるの。実は来週末、アニエスのイギリス姉妹校から来賓が来ることになっていて。
ええ、そのくらいでしたら。でも、そういうのって英語研究会がやっているのをよく見ますわ。
そうなのよね。本当だったら、うちの部長がやるはずだったんだけど。
5.
何か事情でも？
彼女、それがプレッシャーだったようで、胃を痛めて入院してしまったの。
そこまでですの？
実はその来賓というのが貴族出身な上と、前回に来た時も案内役をした子がショックのあまり不登校になるくらいひどかったの。
Well, that's
英語がアメリカなまりで気に食わないとか、急に来賓の一族の話題を振ってきたりして、それを知らないと罵倒されたり。他の部員にも打診してみたけど、みんな怖がって引き受けてくれなかったわ。
それはそうですわよね。
これが普通の子なら酷なお願いかもしれないけど、東條さんなら大丈夫。
Inside, I wanted to scream with all my might, but the teacher was standing right in front of me. I was in trouble, needed my help. I absolutely couldn't
わかりま
refuse.
した。
Okay.
よくなら尽力させていただきます。
ありがとう東條さん。それじゃあ簡単な説明なんだけど。
Okay. Teacher told me to guess schedule and information, and then left in a flash.
ひばり様、本当に大丈夫ですか？もし厳しそうでしたら断ってもいいと思うのですが。いえ、平気よ。引き受けた以上は期待に応えてみせる。私が東條の娘である限り。
Okay. Okay. When Kasuga came to pick me up, I immediately explained the situation to him.
なるほど。それは完璧にこなす必要がありますね。まず一番に学ぶべきは来賓貴族の家柄についてでしょうか。資料は私の方でご用意しましょう。
ありがとう、助かるわ。
それと何と言っても重要なのが英会話のブラッシュアップですね。幸いひばり様はキングスイングリッシュが話せますので、そこは問題ないと思いますが、
However,
ビジネス寄りとなると少々厳しいですね。日常会話とはまた別の 特別な勉強が必要となるはずです。
そうね。相手は厳しい方だと聞いているし、そのあたりがネックになりそうだわ。
そこも私がフォローいたしましょう。ただかなり忙しくなりますが
私を誰だと思ってるの？
それでこそ私
Well, yeah, she is kind of competitive, so.
ということだから、来週までは死ぬほど忙しいの。くれ
Oh,
ぐ
you
れも。
explain to the guys.
くれぐれも。じゃ
ああ、気をつけるよ。
そういうことなら仕方ねえな。なゆたも気をつけろよ。
わかりました。任せてください。
頑張ってね。
Oh, they're cheering for her. That's nice.
ひばり様、こちらが例の貴族についての資料です。
なるほど。かなり歴史のある一族なのね。
おや、メールですか
Oh my god. I mean, it is important to take breaks.
返信はよろしいのですか？
ええ。
Okay. The next morning.
おはよう、ひばりさん。今日の朝食はかぼちゃの甘い。
いらない。
え？
私には数秒チャージで十分。
That evening.
ただいま。
おかえりなさい、ひばりさん。今日はみんなで差し入れを買ってきて。
今は結構よ。私はまた出かけるから。
今からどこに行くつもり？
英会話の先生のところ、専門的な英語を勉強しないと。
Hastily got ready and bolted out of the living room.
ひばりちゃん。
She's not taking breaks. Again, the next morning.
ひばり様、なんだか顔色。そんなことないわよ。目も冴えてるし、体調も万全。絶対成功させてやるんだから。誰にも文句なんて言わせない。ひばり様、目が座ってますわ。
おい春日、お嬢はあれで大丈夫なのか？
大丈夫とは？
ろくに飯も食わないし、朝から晩まで働きっぱなしじゃねえか。
うん。あれではいつか体を壊しそうで心配だよ。
もっと春日さんの方で何とかしてあげることはできないんですか？
何を言うかと思えば、ひばり様にはひばり様にしか果たせない役割というものがあります。
でも。
では失礼します。そろそろお迎えの時間ですので。
After several more days of the same. So tired. Girl.
ひばりさん、おはようございます。今日の朝ごはん、すっごい美味しそうなんですよ。
前にも言ったけど、朝はいらないわ。簡単に済ませるし。
また数秒飯か？いい加減にしとけって。
そうだよ、ひばりさん。せめて朝だけでもしっかり食べてくれ。今日は片手でも食べられるようにロールサンドイッチにしたんだ。これなら車の中でも。
結構よ。もう行かないと。
たく、そこまでピリピリすることなのかよ。
は？
Oh. Hey, Izuku.
どんな大事な役目か知らねえけどさ、ちょっとくらい失敗したって別に死ぬわけじゃねえんだから。
失敗なんて許されるわけないでしょ。
ああ。
I'm here. Hey, Izuku.
あなたたち、何度言ったら分かってくれるの？とにかく 私の邪魔をしないで。
I gave them all a nasty look and left the living room.
ひばりちゃん。
That's fine, Izuku. Tried to walk out the door, I felt a gentle tug on the back of my hair. Someone must have followed me. I looked back and saw Shion standing there myself.
何？
ちょっと待っててね。すぐ終わるから。
Oh. Shion then sprayed my hair with something he had in his hand and began combing it.
よし、これで大丈夫。
一体何を？
Frustrated, I turned around sharply. But the moment I did, I smelled a faint and subtle scent on my hair.
ヘアミストだよ。これならあまり匂いも強くないし。
なんでこんなこと？
ちょっとしたおまじない。この香りはきっと君の心を優しくほぐしてくれるはずだから。
What does he mean? He didn't get worried or reprimand me based on what they thought was best, like the other suitors did. I couldn't help but feel it was unusual for someone to act this way.
そろそろお時間が。
Then Kasuga called from outside, shaking me from my thoughts and back to reality. I immediately looked at my watch and saw that it was already past time.
もう行かないと。
Gonna go ahead and hop off. Hey, okay. You have a good night, Dean. Thanks for the raid.
いってらっしゃい。
Glanced back one last time, and he smiled easily and waved at me. Kept worrying about my interaction with Shion. Once I arrived at school that morning, I focused all my attention on my studies per usual.
ひばり様、おはようございます。
ええ、少しの時間も無駄にはできないから。
そうでしょうけど、あら？ひばり様、なんだかいい香りがしますわ。
ああ、髪の毛じゃないかしら。今朝、シオンさんが何かを吹きかけてたから。
まあ、やりますわね。こんな時でもマーキングを欠かさないなんて。
Tsurugi, please.
マーキング？
いいえ、なんでも。
Oh, you should be summer child.
その代わり、とってもひばり様にお似合いですわ。今日も頑張ってくださいますね。
Girl. I was unbelievably busy that day. During my breaks, I was busy studying and making arrangements for the weekend. And during classes, the teachers went out of their way to me about the guests. They all oddly had expectations of me. Give it all you got and make school proud. Now I can do it. Easy for them to say. But right as my brow began to furrow in disgust, I suddenly noticed a pleasant scent drifting from my hair. And strangely, I felt my shoulders relax.
ちょっとしたおまじない。この香りはきっと君の心を優しくほぐしてくれるはずだから。
I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. Didn't believe in hocus pocus like good luck charms. But I didn't mind the scent.
ただいま。
I returned home later that day. I looked in the living room first. Probably be awkward, but say hi to everyone. Then,
ああ、おかえりなさい。
他の人たちは部屋にこもってるの？
うん。社会奉仕中。
ah, community service. What does that mean? What do they do? Huh. What they do?
は
朝ひばりちゃんに怒られてたでしょ。それで執事君にどこかに連れてかれちゃった。
Kasuga, what?
あなたは
僕は何もしてないし。
Yeah, then. After saying that, Shion turned his attention back to the magazine he was holding. I just stood there, unable to bring myself to leave. I thank him for air mist? The scent certainly did help me relax.
シオンさん。
ん？何？
I just
どうか
thank
した？
him.
いえ、なんでもないわ。
Just then I noticed a light scent coming from Shion's direction. Different from the one he had put on me.
あなたも何か香りをつけているの？
うん、つけてるよ。友人が僕のために世界に一つだけのパルファムを作ってくれたんだ。結構気に入ってるんだけど、どうかな？
しっかり覚えとけよ。テストに出るぜ。
Right, I have 61 saves on this thing. Right. I have 61 saves on this thing. I forgot about that. $62 saves. That's quite a number. Yeah, I forgot that I have that many saves in here. First one sounds too logical. Old. Also, it was 2 years since that last one. Yeah, it's been 2 years. So I'm gonna go with the second one, I guess, because it does sound less logical. Yep, romance up.
今朝私につけてくれた香り、てっきりあなたと同じものかと思っていたの。
僕と同じ香りが良かった？
そういう意味じゃなくて。
嬉しいな。ひばりちゃんがそんな風に思ってくれてたなんて。
He's being a bit presumptuous.
香りって不思議だよね。目には見えないものなのに、そこにあるだけでリラックスできたり、今朝つけたヘアミスト、気に入ってくれた？
ええ。いい香りだった。
I finally got to say that what I wanted to tell him. It just felt a little lighter.
ならよかった。ひばりちゃんが少しでも安らげればと思ってつけたんだ。
Bro managed to stun both MC and Shin with that reply. Because of what Tsubugi said as well, you know, marking her. And MC was like, I thought it was gonna be the same. You're gonna be wearing the same fragrance. I'm like, girl, girl, you're not beating the allegations for what Tsumugi just said, girl.
今僕にできることはないだろうから、せめてね。こういう香りが嫌いじゃないなら、これからいろいろ試してみようよ。もちろん、もっと余裕のある時にね。もしよかったら、今度またプレゼントさせてほしいな。
His words were surprisingly soothing. For some reason, I felt warm and fuzzy. I nodded my head at him. Oh, the others are back.
ひばり様、もう少しで英会話の時間です。そろそろ出発しないと。
すぐに行くわ。
承知いたしました。
そういうことだから。
うん、頑張ってね。
Yeah, compared to the others, he was just there to support her. Like, give her encouragement and stuff. Several days later, the guest visit was a success. Nice. I was able to answer all of his questions appropriately with a smile. And I anticipated what I was looking for and answered correctly. He seemed to approve and even asked me for a handshake at the end. And we didn't even get to hear her speak in English. Now that everything was over with, I flopped onto the couch in exhaustion. So glad everything went well. So late there, I noticed the perfume again. There were many times I felt emotionally drained during this deal, but the scent helped me every time. Maybe it's because of this fragrance that I was able to give it my all without feeling nervous.
やっぱり帰ってきてた。お仕事終わったんですか？
Oh my god. And here they come.
おめでとう。さすがは俺のお姫様だね。
かなり頑張ってたよな。お疲れさん。
おかえりなさい。無事に終わったの？
やっとね。
やったー！ってことは会話も解禁ですよね。やっと構ってもらえる。
He sounds like a dog. I have never change. Sounds like a dog that was left by his owner and just waited until his owner came back. His excitement is so puppy-like. Golden Retriever in the human body.
でも本当にお疲れ様。何事もなかったようでよかった。
Shion's smile was so incredibly dazzling that for a moment I was at loss for words. I tried to quiet my pounding heart and open my mouth slightly.
ありがと
う。どういたしまして。
Shion smiles happily as I quietly thanked him. There we go. Shion's former patron sent him gift after gift, which he accepts without a second thought, but... Okay. Well, feeling.
ただいま。
これって A5 ランクの高級和牛ってやつですか？
The fuck? I heard someone screaming the minute I got home from school. When I looked into the living room, I saw everyone freaking out about
ど
something.
うしたの？
喜べお嬢。今日の晩飯は豪勢だぞ。シオンの知り合いからの貢ぎ物だぜ。
貢ぎ物？
ほら見てください。高級和牛に高級馬刺しセット、フォアグラやキャビアまで入ってますよ。
どんな入手経路だろうと食材に罪はないからね。美味しく料理させてもらうよ。
やったー！楽しみです。
They said the person who sent the stuff was a friend, but he's a former patron, right? Can't believe he is taking charity from others. It's not like he's poor or
それ
something.
で肝心のシオンさんは？
中庭に出て行っちゃいましたよ。
こんなにすごいものを送ってもらってるのに全然。
貢がれるのが当たり前だから、いちいち驚いたりもしねえんだろ。
Used to it, huh? Went out to the courtyard and easily found Shion. He was crouched down in front of a thicket of rose bushes, idly admiring the flowers.
あ、 ひばりちゃん、おかえり。ごめん。帰ってくる時間なの忘れてた。出迎えられなかったね。
それはいいけど、どこかの誰かからずいぶん豪勢な贈り物が届いたみたいね。
ああ。
Glanced over toward the living room. Everyone was still in there, making a big deal about the food.
たくさんあるから、みんなで食べよう。
He is smiling. Like Shion wasn't particularly concerned about the gift either. Just like the other suitors. Couldn't help but feel irritated about
贈
it.
り主は以前お付き合いがあった人？
そうだね。友人の一人だよ。この前連絡があった時に、今いるところを話したから、それ。
そ
どうしたの？
う、別に。
なんでもない人はそんな顔しないよ。気になることがあるなら何でも言って。
I hesitated, but figured it was a good opportunity to speak my
シオン
mind.
さんの友人って、昔シオンさんの生活の面倒を見てくれた人のことよね。
うん、そうだけど。
He admits it so
今ま
openly.
で何人もそういう人がいたようだけど、ちゃんと切れてないの？
切る？
だからパトロン的な人と今もつながってるのかって聞いてるの。
ひばりちゃんの言ってることはちょっと違うかな。
え？
彼らは普通の友人なんだよ。別に喧嘩したわけじゃないのに、いちいち縁を切るなんて変じゃない？
He does have a point.
そばにいられなくなったからって友人と絶交したりしないでしょ？それと同じだよ。
I mean, it depends on the reason why you can't be around them anymore, but yeah.
でも友人とは言っても。
お金を援助してもらってたのにって？
え
違うよ。そこからして間違ってる。僕は昔も今も対等な人間関係しか築いていない。
対等とは言うけど、一方的に援助を受け。
だから僕も返せるものを返してきた。彼らが僕に投資した分、見返りとしてね。これ。
Hey, I remembered him saying something like this back when he got kidnapped.
そのお返しの方法は相手によって違うよ。ただ僕を眺めるだけで満足する人もいた。着飾らせるのが好きな人もいた。彼らは僕をそばに置くことで他では得られないものを得ていたんだ。それで十分じゃない？
That's a flawed way of looking at it. He can rationalize it all he wants, but at the end of the day, he's still living off. At least to me, that doesn't seem quality.
納得できないって顔してるね。
それは。
いいんだよ。価値観なんて人それぞれなんだ。
Yeah, everyone has their own values.
物事の価値は金銭だけで決まるものじゃない。
Yes.
僕の友人たちも同じ。だからこそ関係が成り立つんだよ。
Yes. Chen wasn't the slightest bit ashamed saying this. It was like out of himself. Yes, it takes all kinds. If he and his patrons both understood and were self-sufficient.
じゃあ、シオンさんは？
え？
パトロンの人たちがあなたに何らかの価値を見出したのは分かっ。じゃあシオンさんはどんな理由で彼らのそばにいることを選んだの？
そうだな。僕の理由も単純に一緒にいて楽しかった人もいた。強く頼まれて仕方なくってこともあった。だけど多分一番の決め手はその人がどれだけ僕を必要としてくれるか、僕に価値を見出してくれるか。
Come to think of it, he said the same thing to me. It was back when we had just met. I asked him in an interview why he was here.
婿入りを希望したっていうよりも、ひばりちゃんに会ってみたかったんだ。君が僕を必要としているかもって。
That I might require him. That's what he said. He had said to me. But I didn't think that. I don't have any reason to need him, or I shouldn't have any.
ひばりちゃんは僕がお金目当てでここにいるって思ってる？
だってそれ以外の理由がないでしょ。
そんな悲しいこと言わないでよ。
Oh, at least she was honest, but yeah.
それじゃあまるで自分には肩書きと財産以外に価値はないって言ってるみたいだ。
And hit the nail on the head. What else do I have anyway? Also, I've had the best education. I know how to behave in accordance with that. But if I were asked if it's the real me, I won't be able to answer.
どうしてそんなに自信がないの？君は誰よりも素敵な女の子だと思うけど。
無理に褒めなくていいから。
お世辞だって思ってる？僕は今まで数多くの一流と呼ばれる人たちと僕が欲しいものをくれるんじゃないかって思わせたのはひばりちゃんだけ。だから僕は今ここにいるんだよ。
欲しいものって。
それはまだ内緒。いつか君が僕を選んでくれた時に教えるよ。
Way to evade the question. We didn't have the kind of relationship where I could further, but he isn't my real room yet, after all.
少し肌寒くなってきたね。中に戻ろうか。
ええ。
一夜はどんな料理を作ってくれるのかな。楽しみだね。
I had as if it were the most natural thing to do. As we walked back, I told what he said to me earlier. Shion wants something only I can give. Whether how right about it, that came to mind. Oh. What's the best way to suit a thorny very hard? Shion observes me closely and learns. That evening, I sat on my bed and tended to my aquariums. Alright, so we're on Shion's BOB this time. Seem to be doing well. Only need to do a little maintenance today. Maybe I'll put on another little guy. Fortunately, there's plenty of room in here. Oh. Quickly looked at my phone and saw one of my friends' names pop up. Oh. They contacted me regularly like this, even though we had stopped living together. Maybe that's why he was calling today too.
Yeah, 久しぶり。元気？相変わらずだね。僕がそっちにいた頃と変わらない。え？何言ってるの？ごめん。悪いけど、今は一番大事にしなきゃならない。え？別に構わないけど。ああ、そうだ。だったら何か美味しいものがいいな。ここ人数が結構いるから、みんなで食べられるし。ありがとう。楽しみにしてるよ。
It was a short conversation, but I could tell he was worried about me. Appreciated that. It was the same with all my former patrons. Not just him. But that made a rule to prioritize my current partner at a given moment. I never ended a relationship with any of them before. It's my way of showing my commitment to them. Or they all think I have a new. That's why I haven't been as social lately. That's not a reason. Why it's not like anyone else I've met before. Everyone else I've met has looked at me differently up to now. We don't have the kind of big relationship where you just break it off if something happens.
ちょっと待って。
There.
今
Oh.
今いい
He opened the door and saw Hibari standing there. Smiled at the serendipity of having the exact person I wanted to see.
どうぞ入って。
ありがとう
She seems tense. I wonder if she's nervous. Not the sax playing though. Okay. Left the door open slightly. Didn't want her to be overly on guard for no reason. Small detail, but important one.
それで今日はどうしたの？
これなんだけど
Biden nervously handed me a small bottle in her hands. It was the terrarium that we made together
手
before.
入れの仕方を教えてもらいたいの。特にこのエアプランツ最初の頃よりしぼんできちゃってる気がして。
本当だ。ちょっと元気がなさそうだね。
こうなっちゃったらどうしようもできない。このまま枯れちゃうの？
そんなことないよ。ちょっと手を入れてあげればすぐに元に戻る。
本当？
多分少し水が足りてないだけだと思う。こういう時は水の張ったボウルに浸しておくといいんだよ。
Oh, thank you for the hydration reminder on the YouTube chat too. Took the terrarium from Hibari and worked preparing everything. Then I carefully extracted the air plant and submerged it in
ここか
water.
ら4、6時間くらいかな。朝になったらちょうどいいだろうから。その時また声をかけるよ。
ありがとう。
テラリウム、ずいぶん可愛がってるね。気に入ってくれた？
それはまあ自分で作ったものだから。
ならまた新しいのを作ってみる？
ううんいい。まずはこの子を精一杯可愛がってあげたいの。だから新しい子はまた今度。
Couldn't help but think that as she gazed lovingly at the terrarium. It's conscientious, so once she cherishes something, she takes more care of it. Was the kind of girl who didn't have to anything she valued, and therefore poured a lot of love and affection into a select things.
どうしたの？
ただこの子
I'm
が
okay.
羨ましいなって思っただけ。僕もひばりちゃんに大事にされたいな。
After I said that, Hibari glared at me with an amused look on her face. Oh, maybe I gave her the wrong idea? Well, why bother correcting
どう
it?
かしたの？僕何か変なこと言った？
いいえ、別に。
Hibari turned abruptly and swiftly walked to the door.
いろいろと教えてくれてありがとう。それじゃあまた明日。
またね。
She left my room in a flash. Ran off. Oh. But Hibari then cracked the door a moment later and looked at me. I didn't expect her to still be there, so it startled me.
また何かあったら聞きに来てもいい？
Hibari always look a little frustrated in these situations. I guess she was embarrassed to ask others for help or scared of projection or something like that. It's okay. It's cute.
もちろんいつでもどうぞ。 君と二人きりで過ごせるなら毎日でも。
一夜さんみたいなこと言わないで。
She hated it. Barry looked a bit more relieved and quickly closed the door. Brother.
僕が知りたいのはルールじゃなくてひばりちゃんの好みなんだけど。
私もそれで不満はないわ。第一印象は大事だし、それに選んでもらった服はちゃんと私に合っていると思う。
せっかくリビングに顔を出したのに誰もいなかったら寂しいでしょ。
別に。
そうかな。案外君って寂しがり屋じゃない。
私の癒しは一人になれる時間。
Bai is like a rose. He attracts everyone with her radiance. Of course, keep those who would approach at bay. Lets her guard down for a few select people. She was wary of us in the beginning as well, and it clearly showed in her behavior. But lately, she seems to have changed a lot. Probably because of the guys and I. Been quite a handful, so become less reserved. That's very good thing. A very good thing for her. But I didn't come here to make friends. Whatever it takes for Bai to choose me. You had to do.
ああ、ひばりさん。今日もいつもと変わらず美しいね。
The saxophone is back. Saxophone is back and is playing a different tune.
君は朝露から生まれた妖精のような清純さと可憐さを持っている。その人間離れした美しさを目の当たりにするたびに、俺の胸はドキドキと高鳴るんだ。
It's having the opposite effect of what he intended. Really can't seem to get on the same wavelength.
だから。
一夜、そこまでにしといたらご飯冷めちゃうよ。
あ、それもそうか。温かいうちに食べてもらった方がいいだろうし。
だからお嬢は何でもかんでも真面目にやりすぎなんだよ。もっと手抜いた方がいいんじゃね。
どういうこと？
普通に学校通ったり道場のことをするだけでも大変なのに余計なもん背負い込むなっつってんの。また教師に面倒な仕事を押し付けられて。
でも東条家のものならこれくらいできて当然でしょ。
いやだからそうじゃなくて、もっとちゃんとスケジュール調整しろよ。自分の限界くらい見極めろって話。仕事できねえ新入社員じゃあるまいし。
はあ、大きなお世話よ。
What Taiga means to say is usually spot on. The way he says it is so
ねえ
wrong.
タイガ、好きな子いじめは良くないよ。
そんなんじゃねえよ。
Damn. Called out. Oh
ひ
god.
ばりさん、何してるんですか？
花の観察。
そうなんですね。それじゃあお茶でも飲みます？
いえ、別に。
そうなるとお菓子も必要ですよね。クッキーとチョコがあった気がします。どっちがい
The
い？
golden retriever. I don't think Ibai has the energy to deal with this right now.
どれが？
なあゆた、僕喉乾いた。炭酸水持ってきて。
はい、任せてください。
Oh my god. There he goes.
ありがとう。
うん、僕は何もしてないよ。
And so after backing Hibari up several times, he finally had some time alone.
やっぱり無理。こんなの似合わない。
うんうん、そんなことない。
だから似合わないって言ってるの。
She was complaining about the nail tips I had made. They were a muted red that fit her style. But I didn't want them to be too mature, so I added the ribbon accent to give a feeling of cuteness.
無理なものは無理。こんなの私に似合わないから。
似合う似合わないはともかく、このネイルチップ可愛いと思う？
それはまあ。
See what's going on
ねえ
here.
ひばりちゃん、これそんなに言うほど可愛すぎるデザインじゃないよ。
でもこのリボン。
よく見て。ベースは落ち着いた赤でしょ。全体で見るとむしろ大人っぽい印象になる。
でも
似合うものを身につけるのも大事だけど、そのために好きなものを諦めるのはもったいないよ。どっちもバランスよくつけられればそれが一番なんじゃないかな。
別に私はこういうのが好きなわけじゃ。
じゃあ嫌い？
それは。
Couldn't say how she honestly felt out loud, but also couldn't lie about her feelings, so Hibari kept beating around the bush. That's the
ひばりちゃん
case.
のために作ったんだし、一度でもいいからつけてくれると嬉しいんだけどな。このままだとこのネイルチップお蔵入りに。
別にいらないなんて言ってないでしょ。
I'm sorry, our girls assumed there.
よかった。じゃあつけたくなったらいつでも言って。
Pressed on with a smile, and Hibari became silent with a conflicted expression. Guess she can't really refuse now. From my perspective, it was adorable.
その時はお願いする。だから
ん？
もう少しちゃんと見ても。
もちろん。
I held the nail tips out, and Hibari observed them closely. Her eyes are sparkling. I'm so happy she seems to like them. I want to see Hibari like this more often, and I really want to make her happy.
次にまたネイルチップを作るとしたら、今回みたいにまた気に入ったら受け取ってくれればいいからさ。チャレンジさせてほしいんだ。
別にいいけど。
色はどういうのがいいかな？
もう少し淡い色がいいわ。
パステルカラー？本当はそういうのが好きなの？
違う。今回が赤だから全然違う色の方がいいと思っただけ。その方があなたも作りやすいかなって。
気を使ってくれてありがとう。でもそういう色もひばりちゃんに似合いそうだね。
そう？
うん、もちろん。じゃあアクセントは？今回のリボンみたいなものをまたつけようと思うんだけど。
どういうのがあるの？
いろいろだよ。ストーンもあるし、他にも花とかラメとかレースとか。
レース。
わかった。
強いて言うならよ。
わかってるよ。
Although she was hesitant at first, Hibari gradually began telling me what she wanted. It made me so happy that I couldn't help but smile.
おや、何やら楽しそうですね。
Hibari's expression tensed up in embarrassment at the sight of...
それはネイルチップですか？
シオンさんが作ってくれて。
ずいぶん可愛らしいですね。いつものひばり様のセンスとは少し。
大丈夫よ。プライベートなところでしか
それが良いでしょうね。お似合いではありますが、公的な場所には適さないので。
何？
うんずいぶん執事君のことを気にしてるんだなと思って。
春日は特別だから過保護だし口うるさいし、たまにものすごく失礼なことも言い春日はいつも正しいの。
なら彼に怒られない程度におしゃれし。
私はほどほどでいいのよ。
As I thought, and converse with Ibai normally when Jeeves is around. Not quite there yet. Gave Ibai a smile as I thought about this. Okay. So let's go with this one first. Regular day off.
わあ、このみたらし団子すごく美味しそうですね。
もちもち系か。やはりこういうのは水が重要なのかな。
Naita and Ichiya chatted happily while watching TV. Sat apart from them, one seat blank away, looking at the fashion magazine. Oh, she is
ひばりさん
POV.
も好きそうじゃないですか。今度一緒に食べに行きません？
行かない。
Oh no, Baggy's
そんな悲しいこと言わないでくださいよ。
Jesus. Naita suddenly leaned in toward me with intense curiosity. Then she said, "Oh."
何？
いや、いい匂いがするなぁと思って。最近ひばりさんずっとこの香りつけてますよね。
So we have a ad break, so I'm gonna let that play for a bit. I'll be right back. I need to go get water. Let me just put here be. I'll go get water. Be right back. I am back. Sorry. Sorry, it took me a bit. I had to deal with stuff, but yeah, I'm back. Okay.
ああ、確かに。とても君に似合っていて。
そう
I replied nonchalantly enough, but couldn't help cracking a small smile. In fact, because of what happened recently, it had become somewhat of a habit for Shion to spray hair mist on me before I went to school. That's why this calming scent always surrounded me. Do it myself if he would just let me in the hair mist, but won't hear of it.
そういえば、香水といえば俺もおすすめのものがあるよ。俺の選んだ香りを君が身につけてくれれば嬉しい。
何の話？
Oh. Shion stood behind the sofa, looking puzzled. Wondered how long he had been there.
香水の話をしてたんですよ。最近ひばりさんがいい香りだから。
それで俺おすすめの香水の話になったんだ。それでひばりさん、話は戻るんだけどね。君なら清純さと大人っぽさを合わせ持った香りがいい。例えばフルーティーかつほんのりとしたバニラの甘さが引き立つ有名ブランドの香水。
いらない。
え？
今のこの香りが気に入っているから他のはいらない。
After I said that, both Ichi and Shion looked down at me. Neither found me, their eyes widening. Heat slowly crept over my cheeks when I saw their expressions, and my voice sounded strangely upset.
何よ。
試しにつけてみるのはどうかな。今のより気に入るかもしれないよ。今度一緒に専門店へ見に行ってみよう。
だからいいって言ってるでしょ。
あ、ひばりさん
Oh. I ran outside, seeking refuge in the courtyard. I stood there looking up at the sky and questioned myself over and over. Didn't mean anything serious. I like the current scent, that's all. Just really into it. Is that because Shion chose it?
ひばりちゃん。
Turned around and saw Shion coming out of the house and courtyard.
何？
なんでもないよ。
But I swore they said nothing. Nestled up close to me. Because of that, I kept silent as well. Bored? As we stood in silence, a gentle breeze around us. A mist in my hair softly tickled my
やっぱり
nose.
好きだな。
え？
その香り。
Okay.
ひばりちゃんにすごく似合ってる。気に入ってくれてよかったよ。
Okay then.
そう。
Sure. The towel was blushing again. Shion's straightforward way of speaking. I felt hopelessly embarrassed by it and looked downward in an attempt to hide.
その香りを君にあげたとき、僕が言ったこと。
他の香水もプレゼントしてくれる。
そう。君には、だから、それまで待ってて。
And then he softly stroked my hair. I involuntarily looked up toward his gentle hands. He had already started walking back toward the house, as if what had just happened was nothing at all. As soon as he left, my knees buckled and I slumped to the ground. Can he act that way like it was no big deal? It must have not meant much to Shion to act that way. Yeah, definitely not. So, no need to pay much attention to it either. At least I shouldn't. There's this beacon. Sat there for a while until burning heat in my cheeks subsided. Okay. Why does everyone always want to hang out and drink? It's really not my scene. I left the living room before I got too involved and quickly headed upstairs. Room.
お待ちください、眉住様。
Oh.
あれ、わざわざ追いかけてきてくれたの？
ええ。お話ししたいことがありましたから。
Scary.
そっか。
Scary. Plastered a smile on my face, but stayed on guard. I trust Kasuga, or Jeeves as I like to call him the most. But he's always bothered me.
率直に言います。ひばり様を必要以上に甘やかさないでいただきたい。
どういう意味？
あなたとひばり様の住む世界は違います。
Brother, he's one of the
ひば
suitors.
り様は今も、そしてこれからも、東条家の者として多くの責任を背負って生きていかなければなりません。毎日気楽に暮らしているあなたとは根本的に違うんですよ。
それは知っているつもり。でも、だからこそ彼女に肩の力を抜く方法を教えてあげられるんじゃないかな。僕みたいな人間だからこそできることってあるでしょ？
思い上がらないでいただきたい。ひばり様のことなら私が一番わかっています。
Sir, why are you jealous?
完璧に管理している。
Sir? Why the butler jealous?
ですからあなたがしているのは余計なこと。いや、ひばり様を堕落に導く行為でしかない。
The butler jealous?
ねえ、ずいぶん大げさなんじゃない？僕がしていることなんてささやかなことばっかりだよ。一緒にテラリウムを作ったり、髪の毛の手入れをしてみたり、ネイルチップをプレゼントしたりね。それなのにわざわざこうして釘を刺しに来たのは君自身、自分の立場を奪われそうだと焦っているせいじゃないの
I intentionally said that to get a rise out of Jeeves, and he narrowed his eyes and glared at me. Only for a moment.
バカバカしい。誰が誰をライバル視していると笑わせないでください。どんな相手を夫に選ぼうとも、ひばり様が最後に頼るのは私です。そもそも眉住様は彼女に選ばれなければ去っていくだけの人間でしょ。その程度でしかない方にかき回されるのが迷惑だから忠告しているだけです。
Damn, okay then. After listening to his drawn-out explanation, I quickly came to a decision.
悪いんだけど、執事君の言うことは聞けないかな。
なぜです？
だって僕がここにいるのはひばりちゃんに選ばれるためだから。君の言う通りにしてたら何のアピールもできなくなるよね。君にそれを邪魔する権利はないよね。
Men are beefing. Saying all I had to say, I left immediately. I could feel Jeeves' obstinate gaze on me from behind, but didn't care. Ignored him. There's no point of talking to him anymore. Jeeves always shut out people like that when they get by. He does. But if he is, then He's very different from my understanding of Butler does. He's not viewing things like an average Butler would. He is definitely going to be my biggest obstacle. I'm going to win this. I yawned and started getting ready for bed, while I pondered how annoying he was. Very dumb. How many hours am I streaming now? 2.5, okay. Seeing how unsettled Shion has left me, Smuggy invites me to an art show. There we meet the boy. Okay, what's happening over here? What's happening with hanging out with the bestie? Two of us had developed a habit. Oh?
ひばりちゃん、最近髪の毛の調子が良さそうだね。ツヤツヤしてる。
そう？いつもと同じお手入れしかしてないけど。
もしかしたら今使ってるミストと相性がいいのかもね。
くすぐったい。
かわいい。
It had become a daily routine for Shion to choose my hair a bit before going to school. I was confused and hesitant at first, but somehow coaxed me into it, and here I am. It's really not that bad, so I don't mind.
まゆずみ様、少々ひばり様に冷やすぎ振りすぎではありませんか。
Why is the butler jealous?
花婿候補とはいえ、まだあなたはひばり様とは赤の他人。慎重な振る舞いをお願いします。
そうかな。ただのヘアケアだよ。過敏に反応しすぎじゃない？それに、これは僕なりのアピールだから、君に邪魔される筋合いはないと思うな。
ひばり様のご迷惑も考えてください。
迷惑なら断ってると思うけど、君こそ過保護すぎるのも迷惑だよ。
They may have been smiling, but they were definitely trading insults. Scary.
二人とも
Oh, sweet summer chan.
何でもありません。
何でもないよ。
Scary. Well, that's the biggest lie ever. But they remained silent and smiled happily at me.
じゃあ行ってきます。
Made the blonde scary here in this game. I couldn't stand the two of them and their strange smiles, so I got out of there. Scary. What happened with those two?
ひばり様、何かお悩みですか？
それがまた家でいろいろあって。
あら、今度はどんなネタじゃなく、何があったんですの
Tsumugi. Lately, Tsumugi had gotten used to hearing about my disasters and seemed to enjoy listening. But surprisingly, she turned out to be a big help. I quickly explained to Tsumugi what transpired this morning. How Shion and Kazuga's exchange escalated, and how their severe remarks kept each other in check.
なるほど、そのようなことが。
何かあったのかしら。
単に最近お二人が仲良しだから、春日さんも心配になったのでは？
仲良し？
でも実際、眉住さんに対しては、ひばり様も興味があるのですよね。
Can smell it. Girl, she can smell it.
面白いっ とは思う。
Isn't that just kind of the same?
彼は今まで会った誰とも違うの。すごく不思議で新鮮。普通生きていく上でやるべきことはたくさんあるし、それからは逃げられないはずなの。シオンさんはそういうことに縛られない。本当に好きなことだけをして生きているよ。
ひばり様とは真逆ですものね。気になって当然ですわ。単なる興味と恋愛的な興味は別。今のところどちらですな？
え？それは
まあ、ではお好きだと
there's the face.
そこまでは言ってない。
I let out a heavy sigh. Smoogie stopped looking at me with such
この
excitement.
前話したでしょ、おじい様との例の話。
Smoogie was my best friend. Told her most of the details about the situation, but not all of them. Smoogie nodded at me.
だからこそ眉住さんのことを意識され始めているのだと。
確かにそれもないとは言わない。でもまだわからないことが多くて。
At least that's what I thought. For now, anyway.
それは失礼いたしました。ではお詫びに素敵なところへお連れします。
それアニメとか漫画の？
そちらはまたの機会に。ほらこれを見てくださいまし。
Smoogie turned her phone toward me. The world of photographer Claude Leclerc? The name of the event was accompanied by a beautiful photograph. Okay. Here after school, Smoogie and I went to the art gallery that was hosting the photography exhibition.
すごい数のお客さんね。つむぎはこの写真家のファンなの？
そうなんですな。日本で開催すると聞いてからずっとここに来たくて。
Smoogie bubbled with excitement. I stood next to her and stared intently at the photos. Photos were all so beautiful that it was hard not to be enchanted by them. But I noticed that they all had one thing in common.
モデルにしたものばかりなのね。
そうなんですの。ルクレールは幼い子供を題材にした作品でとても有名なんですわ。彼の作品は母国のフランスだけでなく世界各国で高く評価されてますのよ。
でも知らなかったわ。つむぎが写真にも興味があったなんて。いつもは趣味の話ばかりだから。
いえ、これも趣味の範疇ですわ。
え？
ご覧ください。この写真。初タッコの未成熟な死体が映し出されていますでしょ。イラストでもこんな風に描けたらいいのですけれど。
Okay then. Okay.
それにあら、こちらの写真は魔法少女レーナ・ノエルにそっくりですわね。
ふふ、そっくりなのは当然だよ。魔法少女の監督ルクレール大好きだって有名。
Oh. Turned around when I suddenly heard the strange voice and saw a cute young boy standing right next to us. He had a bouncy hair and a girlish. His cuteness was so striking that Smoogie and I glanced at each
ルー
other.
もあのアニメのコスしたけど、衣装にもルクレールのテイスト入ってる。手袋のところとか。
Cosplay.
驚くべき観察眼。そしてその魔法少女アンブラエストのコスで話題になった。
やっほー、椎名ルーだよ。
まあまあまあ、 こんなところで会えるなんてなんたる光栄。
つむぎ、知り合いなの？
いえ、知り合いというか、こちらが一方的に知っているというか、彼 SNS で人気のキッズアイドルなんです。たまにファンサービスでコスプレなんかを披露してくれることがありまして。
Okay. On screen was a cute young boy in a unique costume. I looked at the boy in front of me as he turned his head to match the angle of the face in the picture.
これルー、このコスすっごい評判良かったのに知らないの？
I mean, he's a child idol. I handed Sumigi's phone back to her, marveling at the fandom I just learned about.
ねえ、お姉様たちはルクレールのファンなの？
いえ、私は彼女に誘われて。
私も最近知ったばかりで、こうして作品を見るのは初めてですわ。でもルクレールの写真独特のロリショタだからこそ表現できる色気は本当に素晴らしいと思います。よこしまな感情を抱くことすら罪なのではと思わせてしまうあの透明感がまたたまらなくて。
お姉様、よーく見てるね。ルーもルクレールのそういうところ大好き。
Tsumugi and Rue shook hands firmly, probably from getting
お姉
excited.
様たち、ルーが案内してあげる。ルーね、毎日ここに通ってるから何でも知ってるんだよ。
毎日？この展示会のチケットって？
毎日ちゃんと買ってるよ。
ひばり様、それがオタクというものなのですよ。推しに払うお金はお布施ですの。
I did not understand fandom, but that was okay.
とにかくルクレールのことならルーにお任せだよ。何でも教えてあげるから。
Okay. That's how we ended up going around the exhibition with Rue. Just like he said, Rue was very knowledgeable about Leclerc. Leclerc? He explained each photo in detail as we went along.
ルクレールのテーマは未文化の天使だから、モデルはルーみたいな子供なの。男の子にも女の子にも見えるでしょ。作品はいっぱい発表されてるけど、その中でも一番有名なのはアンジュシリーズ。その最高傑作って言われてるのが。
Oh. Oh.
じゃーん、これ。
Isn't that... Followed Rue's line of sight to a single large photo hanging on the wall. It was prominently displayed and probably was this exhibition's featured photograph. The moment I saw the photo, my heart jumped to my
この
throat.
作品のキャッチコピーは、その瞳はすべてを許すアメシスト。アメシストっていうのはこのモデルの名前なんだよ。
綺麗です。
I've never seen this before, but it's strangely familiar. I wonder why. It's beautiful, but not the only thing. Looking at it gives me this deep, full feeling. Most striking figure of the photo was his eyes. Don't look away from those innocent eyes that seem to encompass everything and fill me with an utter sense of peace. Controller is not working.
そこそこの知名度だったルクレールが今みたいに有名になれたのってこのモデルがいたからなんだって。
アメシストというのですわよね。
うん、アメシストってアンジュシリーズの中でも特別な伝説のモデルなの。だからルーもいつか。
Rue's expressions like over was a gloomy look that didn't fit his energetic
どう
personality.
しましたの？
なんでもないよ。
Okay, little kid. I know who you are. Yeah.
それより今日はお姉様たちと一緒に回れてルー楽しかった。今までこんなにルクレールのこと聞いてくれる人いなかったもん。いっぱいおしゃべりできて幸せ。
You're like Lurk, aren't you?
こちらこそ楽しかったわ。
Probably.
ルー君すごく詳しかったし。
そう言ってもらえると嬉しい。ねえお姉様方、ウィスの ID 聞いてもいい？ルー、お友達いっぱい欲しいんだ。ダメ
Rue looked unsure of himself, but Smiggy proudly held up
喜
her
んで。あ
phone.
あ、こんな可憐なショタとウィス交換とはなんて罪深い。神よ、お許しください。さあ、ひばり様も。
ええ。
At Smigi's insistence, I also exchanged IDs with Rue.
ひばりお姉様に紬お姉様、こんな綺麗なお姉様たちとお友達になれて幸せいっぱい。これからもよろしくね。
Idols sure are incredible. Not only is he cute, but he has a certain charm that draws you in.
なに？
なんでもないわ。こちらこそよろしくね。
He was cute even when he was confused. I think I was beginning to understand why he was so excited just a bit. Just a bit. At home, after the exhibition, everyone was either taking a bath or already in their rooms. I was alone, leafing through a brochure I bought at the Leclerc exhibit.
あれ？その写真って。
Shion wandered over to me while I was reading the
ル
brochure.
クレールって写真家のものよ。今日展示会があったから紬と一緒に行ってきたの。
そっか。あの写真展、今日本でやってたんだ。
え？
うん、なんでもない。それよりその写真展、面白かった？
ええ、本当に綺麗だった。
そんなに気に入ったんだ。
だって写真一枚一枚が本当にすごいの。どれもモデルの純粋な美しさとか透明感が強く映し出されてて。
それがルクレールにとって一番表現したいことだからね。子供だからこそ持っている魅力を最大限に引き出すのが得意なんだよ。
He stated all this as if it were obvious, and my eyes widened in surprise.
ルクレールに詳しいの？
まあね。
Shion gave a brief answer and then she beautiful smile.
ルクレールの写真展、何が一番心に残った？大丈夫、忘れないから。
Of course, it's amethyst. Yep.
象的だったけど、天使シリーズの最高傑作アメシストね。初めて見た瞬間、本当に天使がそこにいるのかと思った。この世のものとは思えないくらい美しくて胸が震えたの。
その言い方、まるで恋してるみたい。
恋なんて、あれは天使よ。そんな下世話な感情で怪我しちゃいけないの。
Well, that's the first I've seen. That's the first I've seen Shion make that face. I think.
あの神秘的な美貌の前にはみんな等しくひれ伏すのよ。そんなことを思わせる隙すらないんだから。
I should be passionate, I guess.
写真と出会えただけで幸せというか。シオンさん、聞いてる
？Blushing.
うん、聞いてる。ありがとう。そんな風に言ってくれて。
なんであなたがお礼を
Don't worry about it. I don't.
だって、あれは僕だから。
He didn't even try to hide it. Just he just admitted it.
え？
今はもうモデル自体やめちゃってるけど、昔はルクレールと一緒に仕事してたんだ。天使シリーズのモデルの一人。アメシストは僕だよ。
He has said that twice now, but I still can't grasp what was going on. On his amethyst? Now that I think about it, they have the same hair, skin, eye color, and was vaguely familiar. Are the same person? Yes. So obvious.
でしょ？
嘘じゃないよ。事実。
No amount of freaking out will change reality. The more I looked at Shion, the more similarities I saw between him and Amethyst. Angel was here?
でも嬉しい。ひばりちゃんがあんな風に褒めてくれて。
Well, girl, you already said all those words, so good luck.
私はルクレールの作品を褒めただけで、別にあなたのことを褒めたわけじゃ。
Your girl says.
でもモデルも褒めてたよね。
No take backs. Don't argue with him. Angel, I was so taken with and had praise was in actuality Shion.
そうだ。もしひばりちゃんがよかったら、今度一緒にルクレールの写真展に行こうよ。モデル本人による写真の解説、面白そうだと思わない？
I was fascinated with Amethyst, so Shion's offer was kind of appealing. Well, not kind of, more like really, extremely. Shion's eyes crinkled as he smiled, happy to see that I couldn't refuse. Well, okay, what's on the Wisp message? Oh, it's true. It's true, I decided to send you a Wisp message and say hi. I was super happy to talk about Legwork so much. I hope we can talk again sometime. Thanks, I had fun too. We'll have to chat again sometime. Oh, so do you like Amethyst best too? Huh? He's definitely my favorite. I could talk about Amethyst all day. Hey, Drew, how much do you know about Amethyst? Want to know? I've all his photo collections. I'll show you. Even have the limited editions and special edition ones. Yeah, I might like to see. Wait, no, you won't happen to know where Amethyst is now. If I did, I'd go see him right away. Yeah, you would. Amethyst is surrounded by mystery. If you hear anything about him, tell me too, okay? Oh, okay. Tonight. Ah, there, Lord.
Nabi? Nabi? いらっしゃい。
なゆたはこんなところで何をしているんだ？
ラビを調べてるんです。
ねえ、そんなに騒
ちょっと見るだけ。
Okay, I've seen this then if it's skipping. Yeah. Oh, it's the time they broke Rappy. Okay, I've seen this now. Yeah, I don't have to actually view them. Just the board? Okay, I could probably save this for next week though. Because, yeah, I do also do some stuff. So I'll be ending it there for now. At least I got back to this game after a long while. It's been 2 years. Apparently it's been 2 years since I played this game again. But yeah, how long was this again? I forgot. But yeah, I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see if I'll be streaming tomorrow, but for now, that's it for me. 3 hours is fine. 3 hours of Otome Game Tuesday is fine. Yeah, for now I'll go read out. Who do I read out to though? Because I don't think I see that much people on my end, or at least friends that I know. But I could read out to someone else. I'll show you someone I know also streaming on YouTube. Oh, Juno is live on the YouTube side. I could redirect my other stream to Juno on YouTube. Do I do this again? Redirect. Oh, stream over here. Yeah. I'll see you guys either tomorrow if I do have any idea what I'm gonna do tomorrow, or on Thursday. Thursday is FGO if Archetype Inception actually comes out. If not, we'll see what happens. I'll see what happens. If not, I'll probably play FF14 just to do the phantom weapon stuff. We'll see. I'll see what I need to do with that. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow or on Tuesday. But it has been enjoyable to get back to this game after 2 years. Yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye bye. Also, yeah, right. I haven't chosen. I don't know what to rate on the Twitch side though, but it's you know what? I'll just read out to Alex. I'll just read out to Alex for now. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye bye.